What's the location of your emergency?
I went to 14. I don't know what happened. My wife is dead.
What's
My daughter tried to shoot me.
Your daughter tried to shoot you?
Yeah. She ran shooting at me.
They say evil has no age limit. But what if a teenager, barely old enough for high school, walked into her own home, pulled out a gun, and killed her mother? What if she then lured her stepfather to his death, all while texting friends casually, acting normally, as if nothing had happened? This isn't fiction. This is Carly Gregg. Stay until the end to understand the twisted motives, the defense claims of silence and hallucinations, and the verdict that shocked Mississippi. Before we begin, subscribe to Crime Vault, because the darkest stories demand to be seen. On March 19, 2024, in Brandon, Mississippi, the Gregg household became the stage for a chilling attack. Carly Madison Gregg, 14 years old at the time, lived with her mother, Ashley Smylie, a high school math teacher, and stepfather, Heath Smylie. That day, months of tension would collide with tragedy. According to prosecutors, when Ashley Smylie returned home, she allegedly confronted Carly about vaping devices and burner phones discovered in her room. Surveillance video showed Carly retrieving a .357 Magnum handgun from beneath the mattress in her parents' bedroom, concealing it behind her back. Moments later, the gunshots rang out. Ashley Smylie was struck, apparently in the face. Carly then used her mother's phone to text Heath Smylie, "When will you be home, honey?" to lure him back when Heath arrived. Carly allegedly tried to shoot him in the shoulder. He survived. Amid that violence, Carly reportedly invited a friend over to see a dead body. The house was laden with chaos and contradiction. She shot her own mother, tried to ambush her stepfather, and yet after the act, appeared calm or detached. Video captured Carly walking with the gun hidden, texting, acting nearly composed. How could a teenager execute such violence, so precisely yet so emotionally detached? In the next section, we'll examine Carly's background, her mental state, and what lay hidden beneath the surface. To understand Carly Gregg, we must look beyond the gunshots and into what drove her there. She attended the same high school where her mother taught. Neighbors said she sometimes seemed moody, distant, and frustrated by parental control. Her defense would later argue she was in a mental health crisis, perhaps exacerbated by medications, auditory hallucinations, mood disorders, and memory gaps. In pre-trial hearings, a psychologist testified she was competent to stand trial, but noted that medications prescribed before the shooting may have influenced her state. The defense claimed she had blacked out during the act and couldn't recall pulling the trigger. Prosecutors countered that her actions weren't consistent with accident or dissociation. They were deliberate, controlled. One psychiatrist called parts of her act diabolical, arguing they didn't align with psychotic breaks, but with cold planning. What's clear is Carly's case became as much about mental health and responsibility as it was about murder. The stage was set for a courtroom battle where evidence, mental state, and motive would clash. Next, we'll enter the trial. The 911 call, the surveillance footage, the expert duels, and see how her own texts became her undoing. Opening day in Rankin County, Mississippi. The public and media swarmed. The prosecution delivered their version. This wasn't a crime of passion, but one of cold precision. Carly paced behind her mother's bedroom door, gun concealed, then stepped forward and fired 3 shots. Surveillance video caught her pacing before the killing. Then she walked away, texting. Prosecutors played the 911 call made by Heath Smylie, pleading that his wife had been shot, demanding police. They also pointed to the security camera footage and interior home surveillance that captured portions of the incident. Defense focused on Carly's mental state. They presented psychiatrists who testified she experienced depression, auditory hallucinations, dissociation, and memory gaps. They argued she was not fully sound of mind at the moment, but other expert witnesses contradicted them, saying her actions before, during, and after the shooting showed planning, not panic or confusion. After 5 days of testimony, the jury deliberated less than 2 hours. The verdict: Carly Gregg was found guilty on all counts: first-degree murder, attempted murder, and tampering with evidence. During sentencing, the judge delivered life in prison without parole for both the murder and attempted murder, plus an additional 10 years for tampering. When the verdict fell, Carly wept. Her defense attorneys pledged to appeal. But the story didn't end in the courtroom. Carly's attorneys have since filed for a new trial, pointing to new evidence and allegations of trial error. You've been watching Crime Vault because every crime has a story, and every story has a hidden truth.
That she walks straight to her parents' bedroom, that she goes straight to her mom's side of the bed and removes a .357 Magnum from under the mattress. She peeks her head around the kitchen to make sure that her mom hasn't come out of her bedroom. She walked with that .357 Magnum behind her back, walked in to her own bedroom, fired 3 shots into her mother.